dealing with issues around food. And I think I attended my first diet-related meeting when I was 10 or 11 years old. And, I was around 50 pounds overweight when I was in my early teens, and I ended up going to a weight loss camp. I struggled with weight my entire young life, and then I found this weight loss camp, and I was able to take weight off, and I thought I'd found a solution there, but I soon realized that, the solution they provided in a diet for me, for some reason, didn't work. And as I grew up through my 20s and into my mid-20s, I just kept getting in stressful situations, new jobs, new life situations, and my reaction was to eat, and I just gained weight, up to 75 pounds at a time. I could then lose that 75 pounds, but I couldn't figure out a way to keep it off, and it was kind of a hopeless situation. I really didn't know anything about 12-step programs, or I'd never heard of the concept of food addiction before. But these diets, I just thought I was a failure. I couldn't figure out how to make it work.
And you reached out to Renaissance Center, and you've been active with them, I understand, for about 7 years. Is that correct?
Well, actually, I was living in the States at the time, and I heard about this Food Addiction Recovery Anonymous program, and basically, again, as I said, I didn't know what the 12 steps, and I didn't know about, I didn't know what what a food addict was, and I came into this program and I gave it a shot, and I basically just followed the tools they were providing, and I was able to lose weight, and the tools they provided has helped me keep that weight off for a full 8 years now.
So, Aaron, it's obviously a physical thing, the weight loss, but it's an emotional and mental thing as well, I understand. Tell me about the 12 steps. What in those 12 steps has helped you really deal with this addiction? I'm not sure if you're in the recovery stage fully, but it sounds like you really have taken charge of this addiction.
Yeah, I mean, the way the 12 steps have worked for me is that it's basically a one day at a time situation. I really try to live my life on a day-to-day basis. I've been given a structure for living that helps sort of go through the day, and that involves eating very nutritious and healthy foods, and doing practices, spiritual related practices, as Dr. Tarman talked about, that help you through the day. Having the support of a fellowship that understands the same disease of food addiction, and through all those components, there's meetings that I go to, and I have a sponsor in this program that helps me on a day-to-day basis. I talk to other people all over the world who are working the same program, and through all those combined, I'm able to get through this one day at a time.
Aaron and Dr. Tarman, food is the essence of life, as is water, I guess. It's also a very social thing to eat, to gather together with others, to break bread. How do you deal with that part of life?
I mean, from my perspective, what I've learned to do is just adjust some, sort of cultural practices that I had learned growing up, and whether that means, calling ahead and making sure that what I need to make sure I stay on this program is available for me when I get in social situations that involve food, or just it's really gathering information, talking to people who've done this before I did, and learning from them through their experience of how to get through life without having to go too far, because a lot of my problems stemmed from getting in a stressful situation, as you say, in a social eating situation, and not knowing how to handle myself, and then as a result just eating, binging or eating foods that had sugar or flour, that were just that started this uncontrollable urge to keep eating. And by following this laid out program that I've been given, I'm able to get through it again, one day at a time, one situation at a time, and sort of keep life. And I call it, the way we call it is in recovery. It's a day-to-day recovery.
And how do you feel about being in recovery, perhaps for the rest of your life?
And I'm actually kind of grateful for it. It might seem kind of odd. Some people come and they start this program and they think to themselves, this is really restrictive. But really, the peace of mind that I have, the serenity, the happiness that just was not there before, allows me to have just a wonderful, happy life today. I'm in the same normal-sized body, and I have been for 8 years straight. And to me, that's that alone would have been enough.
You deserve that peace, I'll tell you. Dr. Tarman, what would you like to say to Aaron?
Well, I just wanted to sort of collaborate with him that this is a program that, like they say, growing old isn't for sissies. Well, getting healthy isn't for sissies either. And it's a program that to stay healthy in any manner requires diligence and, a daily resolve to continue to stay healthy. And what the program does is it gives a lot of support on a 24/7 basis if needed, because it's very difficult in our society to deal with the continual invitations to eat inappropriately. Unfortunately, the medical model just can't absorb the need that exists out there from one person or even from many people.
Well, if you think about it, Aaron and Dr. Tarman, alcohol, there's an age restriction. Drugs are illegal for the most part, perhaps for medicinal use. There are also legalities when it comes to sex, but with food, it's wide open. There are no guidelines and no restrictions really. And you look at any magazine, any TV show, film, and it's all about the perfect body.
That's right. And you seem to imply that it might be a difficult lifestyle that Aaron has to lead, but just think about it in this way. If you were constantly in a situation where you were eating a little bit of something so that the craving and the urges would grow, but then you would be in a continual state of trying to curb those back, that's a very painful state to be in on a regular basis. It's like the alcoholic who's asked to drink just one drink a day. Well, they may actually do just one drink a day, but they'll be thinking about it the whole day, what's left in that wine bottle, or as soon as they're alone, they'll finish the rest of it. That's not a pleasant place to be, whereas I believe that Aaron's in a situation where he can at rest say, no, I'm not going to have one piece of cake, so I don't need to think about the third or fourth because I'm not even having the first one. That's much easier than that craving state.
Aaron, very quickly before we say goodbye, does it help you to have this now defined as a disease?
I do think so. I mean, I think that I've been in circles in the last 8 years where it has been accepted as a disease, and I really do feel that the more the medical community comes alongside, it's going to be much easier for more people to get to know about this. So I suggest to people that they pass along information to their doctors every time they go to their doctors, their chiropractors, about what they're doing here, so the medical community better understands how effective, because this program really works. I mean, when you treat it as a food addiction and you remove sugar and flour, which is what we do, and the cravings do disappear, as Dr. Tarman says, and that freedom and the life that can come from that is just incredible. So the more the medical community understands that and passes it along, I think the better it is for all of us.
And society as a whole, getting this kind of information. Aaron, are you comfortable staying with us throughout the show?
Sure, absolutely.
Great. Love to have you stay with us. That would be terrific. And we're going to take a short break here on the Health Edition of Talk TV. We have a lot more to come, so love to hear from you if you're listening to us on CP24 Radio 1050 or watching us right now on CP24. Here are the numbers. We'll put them on the screen and I'll mention them. 416-872-CP24. That's 2724. Toll free, 1-888-863. CP24. If you're on the internet, please send your email to talktv@cp24.com. We'll be right back. Back, we are discussing food addictions and learning more about them. Dr. Vera Tarman from the Renaissance Center, and on the phone with Aaron, being very candid about his addiction. Food Addicts in Recovery Anonymous. Aaron, thank you. Dr. Tarman, thank you. Let's go right now to a caller. Lee is in Aurora. Hi, Lee. Hello, Lee.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Hi. Well, I have two questions. One is, how much of this is biological versus psychological? And what do I do about an 11-year-old?